Okay, so what if you could actually edit the code of life itself? And I'm not talking about some far-off sci-fi future. I'm talking about right now. Today, we're going to dive into something called CRISPR-Cas9. It's this absolutely revolutionary tool that's giving scientists the power to literally rewrite DNA. So let's get into how it all works.
Just imagine for a second that the DNA of any living thing, its entire biological instruction manual, was just like a document on your computer. Seriously, what if you could just use a simple find and replace command? You could fix a typo that's causing a disease, right? Or you could delete a gene that's causing problems, or maybe even add a new helpful one. Well, that, in a nutshell, is the absolutely incredible promise of CRISPR.
All right, take a look at this. This single image here is basically our roadmap for the next few minutes. It lays out the entire CRISPR process, all the way from finding the right gene to actually cutting it and then repairing it. We're going to break down every single part of this journey so you can see exactly how this amazing technology works. Okay, so to really get how this process works, we first have to meet the tools. And it's best to think of CRISPR-Cas9 not as just one thing, but more like a two-part molecular toolkit. And what's really wild is we didn't even invent this stuff from scratch. We found it. It's a natural defense system that bacteria have been using for ages, like an ancient immune system to fight off viruses. So let's meet the key players that we've kind of borrowed from nature. First up, we've got the Cas9 enzyme. Now, an enzyme is basically a protein that gets a job done. And Cas9's job is super specific. The easiest way to think about it? Just picture a pair of tiny molecular scissors. Its whole purpose in life is to cut DNA. That's it. It's incredibly powerful, but here's the catch. On its own, it has no idea where to cut. For that, it needs a little help. It needs a guide. And that guide is our second tool. It's called, appropriately enough, guide RNA, or gRNA for short. Now, RNA is kind of like a molecular cousin to DNA, and this particular piece of it is totally custom-built by scientists. So if Cas9 is the scissors, then the guide RNA is like a super sophisticated GPS. Scientists can program this GPS to match a very specific sequence of DNA, which then leads the scissors to the exact spot in the huge genetic code that needs a little editing. All right, so we've got our tools, we've got the scissors, we've got the GPS. It's time to put them to work. This is phase 1, search and target. And you have to remember, an organism's genome, its entire set of DNA, is just a massive, vast landscape of billions of genetic letters. So finding the one right spot, well, that's absolutely critical. Let's see how this toolkit gets itself ready for the mission. So here's how it all kicks off. First, the Cas9 scissors and the guide RNA GPS join forces. They link up, and they form this single mission-ready unit. It's called the Cas9 gRNA complex. At this point, this little complex is armed and ready to go. It's time to start the search inside the cell's nucleus. So once it's all put together, this complex starts scanning along the DNA's double helix. It's just zipping along, checking the code until, bam, the guide RNA finds and recognizes the exact sequence it was programmed to find. The moment it finds that perfect match, it locks on tight, positioning those Cas9 scissors perfectly right over the target gene. Okay, now for the main event. The complex has found its target, it's locked in place. What happens next? This is phase 2, and it's where the magic really happens. This is where the DNA actually gets cut, and then, and this is key, the cell's own natural repair systems are triggered to fix the damage. And this right here, this shows the critical moment. The Cas9 enzyme fires up. It uses its 2 molecular blades to make a clean, super precise cut right across both strands of the DNA double helix. Now, a break like that, a double-strand break, that's like a 5-alarm fire for the cell. It's a huge signal that says, hey, we need urgent repairs right now. So the DNA is broken. Now what? This is really the most important moment in the whole process. The cell absolutely has to fix this break if it's going to survive. But how it gets fixed? That's where the real power of gene editing kicks in. Turns out the cell has 2 main ways it can go about this. Okay, so path number 1 is kind of the quick and dirty option. The cell just quickly glues the 2 broken ends back together. It's fast, but it's often a little sloppy. This quick fix can create a tiny error. Maybe a letter gets deleted or an extra one gets shoved in. And believe it or not, that small error is often exactly what we want. It's enough to mess up the gene's instructions, which basically turns off a problem gene. But what if you don't want to just turn it off? What if you want to fix it? Well, that's where path number 2 comes in.
scientists can provide a new, healthy piece of DNA to use as a template. The cell then uses this template to do a super precise repair. It's like correcting a typo or even rewriting an entire sentence in the genetic code. It's amazing. So there you have it. We've gone through the search, the cut, and the two different ways the cell can repair the break. Let's wrap this up and put it all together in a quick nutshell. Really, it all comes down to three key steps. First, there's the binding. That's when the guide RNA finds its target on the DNA and locks those Cas9 scissors right into position. Then comes the cleavage. That's the cut. The scissors snip both strands of the DNA, breaking the gene. And finally, you have the repair. The cell fixes the break, and in doing so, it permanently changes the DNA code, either by turning the gene off or rewriting it using that template we talked about. And that's CRISPR-Cas9. It's this incredibly precise, programmable tool that lets us find, cut, and literally alter the source code of life itself. The potential here is, well, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. We're already seeing this in clinical trials to treat genetic diseases like sickle cell anemia. It feels like the book of life has been opened and put right at our fingertips, which, of course, leaves us with one heck of a question. Now that we have the power to rewrite it, what story should we write next?